welcome to the Window to Dubai. I'm here with Mohammed Binghalib. You're actually the first person that I ever met in Dubai, like 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember that. Like, I just landed and we met and you kind of showed me around. And I wanted to have you on the show because I wanted to create a show that kind of talked about Dubai, the past, the future, what it is. And I just felt like you were the perfect person to tell that story. So maybe we could start with kind of where Dubai is going. And I think we talked about kind of the AI and kind of artificial intelligence technology. Can you kind of expand just kind of where Dubai is going with that?
Thank you, William. And I really, first of all, want to congratulate you that you are a determined person. And you kept on doing. Maybe you have a lot of problems, but you are kept on doing what you've been doing. Dubai is here for a lot of people. And Dubai is very great and always a dynamic moving city, or even you can say as a region already. And Dubai affects not just UAE but affect the whole region in this area, and it is a leading position in where the business is especially going, and where generally the total outcome of the region comes out with.
Yeah.
And of course, Dubai thinking a lot in future, and Dubai and UAE government have made it and determined to look for what is good for them, or what is going to be or required for its citizen and of residents. Where is the business is going to be coming in the next 15, 20 years like that.
And it seems like artificial intelligence is the big focus, right?
Yes. Dubai, of course, today everybody, life have changed. Everybody are living in a good comfort zone, and everybody required things, and the standards of good living and a standard of requirement of a person or their income is very high. And we cannot look for jobs that are low-paying jobs, or that is not going to, like this, labor-intensive jobs, or things that dependent on labor, but things that gonna be, or that will come up and compete on the world with the same. I mean, there will be no difference between us or another country trying to do the same job.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the labor type of thing. Yeah. That's what the real, I think, challenge and outlook are really to overcome.
Yeah, and they just appointed a minister of kind of to be directly involved, which usually means that they're serious, like they're putting someone in charge of making sure this happens.
Yeah, I think Sheikh Mohammed and his team and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed in Abu Dhabi, they have determined, they made a decision that we need to compete with the world, and we have to be the best. Maybe not the number one, but at least we are among the first ones. To do that, they have taken the decision, and they are putting all their resources and all their efforts in order to make that dream to come true. If we don't catch up with this dream, it's like it's going to happen, or we're going to be out, because we have nothing special. Our country have nothing special right now. Of course, we have a lot of things special, but in sense of resources, if you look around climate-wise, and so many things are not very friendly to us. So we have to think something beyond what normal people are thinking in the world, and really take our position in that.
And I think kind of the story that me and you were kind of talking about prior to this was really the idea that Dubai, I don't want to use the word underdog, but has always had to be resourceful, forward thinking, and kind of create its own. It's very entrepreneurial when you think about it, because it's like they weren't blessed with the great resources. They didn't have the oil, they didn't have the natural resources, but yet they've kind of created something from nothing all the time. So it doesn't seem far-fetched that they could do this with the AI, but it seems like that's the story of Dubai. There's always that need to kind of think forward and be resourceful and create something for themselves.
Dubai and the region, or this region, the way how the country is structured between 7 emirates, and each emirate kind of compete with each other in business and services and attract people. It already creates a good competition. Yeah,
it's like a healthy competition.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they complement each other, and that's why the outcome of UAE is very high. Of course, we did not came to this position when I was young, there was no electricity. There was no. We went to school sometime walking.
Yeah.
First time we saw the bus. First time we saw so many things.
Yeah.
We never have a bus come and take us till maybe we are in grade 4 or 5, something like that. So things have changed, but the main thing is the people, and especially the leadership, is a very honest leadership. They feel that the citizen and the people, they are their family, and they don't look upon it that they are somebody. The whole tribes and the way our structure is meant is like, I am a leader, but I am responsible. I'm like your father.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I'm going to provide for you. Like when I was young, I have a problem with my eyes a little bit, and I wanted to go overseas like anybody else to get medical treatment. We didn't have medical treatment, and the doctor checked, and my case was really not fixable. It was like this. But I went and I went to the sheikh and I told him, sir, everybody's going, why I'm not gonna go and something. So he didn't look at the medical condition of me, but he looked, okay, there could be a chance for him to get his eye fixed, why not? And he sent me.
You went to the sheikh personally?
Yeah, personally. And he sent me to London, and he sent me to spend the money, and of course there was no treatment. And when I came back and I worked for a bank and I looked at the financial position of many of Emirates, at that time, and people, the rulers have borrowed money from the banks to pay for their citizen, and the interest at that time was 10, 15, even 20% on some of the loan. I felt so shame that what I did was wrong, but also at that time I see, look at this leaders of our country. They are just like your parents. They're taking care of you, regardless of what is the outcome. They are there for you.
Yeah.
And now, more than that, their vision. They are very honestly, and if they are like this to the citizen, they are also looking very genuinely how to develop their own countries and their emirates and on whatever field they are.
Yeah.
So they are always enterprising. They're always looking for how to really catch up with the world, how to be competitive in this new world that is coming up, and how the citizen and the people living here can have a good life. And they have, that's what their goal is, and they do it very honestly, and that reflects into everything we do in this country, especially.
And I think that's a unique history to have, where like a country from mine, the US, I'm not connected to the leaders as much. Like, they're just a person on a statue somewhere, where here it's the evolution of Dubai is within a lifetime.
Right.
So there's still that, like you saying, you can go to the sheikh and talk to him. Obviously, I couldn't go to the president and talk to him. He wouldn't meet with me,
and they are very much with the public. They understand the business problem, they understand the social problem, they understand, and they really are providing such a great leadership in all those aspects, whether the threats we are having in the region, or whether what is the future, where we are going. It's a very clear-cut road that they are following up, no doubt about it. Of course, this have started from many, many years ago, in early 1910, like Dubai, for example. In Dubai, there was a place called Bastakia, which is an old residence area. People came from the other part, Arab people, many belong to the Arab families who were living in Iran, and because of political situation there between the whatever situation, they chose to migrate and came to Dubai, and many of them were very rich, and then they built their great places, great houses.
And that was really the beginning of the trade business in Dubai.
Exactly, yes. And many of them rich people, and they took up a lot of initiatives, and they started to trade between India, between various ports in Africa, and they were able to fund many things. And during this time also, our trade with the pearl came down, and a major effect took place. So a lot of people started to look for traditional or at that time we said new businesses, what we say today on internet, and the cloud business. But at that time, this was the new business for many regions. And they did great.
Yeah.
They were the very enterprising people, always been they're looking for opportunity, being honest, being, they did their job honestly. People respected them, and they got business.
And then you were saying that, because obviously when the pro business dropped, there was kind of like a depression for a while. It wasn't doing as well. But then Kuwait, or was it gold or Kuwait happened? Because I can't remember the order, but Kuwait got oil, and then they kind of came and they built a creek, and there was kind of that next wave of evolution in Dubai.
The depression, good time and bad time are always there.
Yeah.
You're going to get good time, bad time. It's how you benefit from both situations,
Yeah.
So people in the region, and especially in Dubai, people have seen many ups and downs.
Yeah.
And then ups and downs, as I mentioned to you, from the trading of the pearl. The pearl industry went down and affected major incomes of this area went down. Then again, we have little bit of a bad time. And during this time, the trading business really took place. What I mentioned to you, Bastakia. So that drop in business of pearl made challenges for other businesses. So people started to do businesses in the neighboring countries and things like that.
Yeah.
Then, of course, the World War came, affected everybody. And after that, the oil boom started. The oil boom started not necessarily in UAE. First it started with Kuwait and Bahrain, and later on Saudi Arabia, and then into UAE. During this time, most of people from here went and worked for the oil companies in Kuwait or in Saudi Arabia. My dad worked for a company in Qatar, and then he worked for Dammam. And many of the higher ranking, even from the royal families, people went work there as foremen and as workers like that. It was a tough time. So our country have seen tough times.
Yeah.
But they adapted. They understood. They saw what was going on. And then we have starting in the 60s, things, the oil boom started to come, and little by little, the oil discovered here in 60s, and the bank started here. And, and things kept on up and down. During the time of our initial development, as I mentioned, Kuwait was the first one who got oil.
Yeah.
And they were being nice. I mean, they also feel this like the Gulf is like a big family. Tribes are interrelated to each other. So they came and helped by building schools and building hospitals, and also doing certain, charity work in this area. But Dubai Sheikh at that time, Sheikh Rashid Allah Yarhamah, he was much far-sighted. So he saw that when the money was coming in Kuwait, he said, okay, thank you for what you are doing with the schools, but if you can really give us loan for developing the creek.
Yeah.
And he took the loan and he dredged the creek and make it deeper. And the small dhows or the large dhows can come easily dock. And the business trader can put their goods on these dhows and take them anywhere in neighboring small ports, and they could go to Bahrain, or go to Bandar Abbas, or go to Somalia, or go to Aden, or go to even any place, and they could really take the businesses around. And this brought the transit business. People started to import more and using Dubai as a distribution center. And it was a great time. And after, once the creek was done, then it was success most of the time, and there was up and down periods. Iraq-Iran war, maybe other depressions. It came sudden drop into the oil prices. Many things happened. However, Dubai always knew that this is a small phase and it will overcome, and it will come. For example, I remember one incident when we have Kuwait war, the first Kuwait war.
Yeah.
And people were, the army, the US armies were coming, the coalition's armies were coming, and you look at CNN, and the first time we saw CNN to be broadcast in this area. And if you heard the news, you would be depressed. You think that you're going to be dying tomorrow, like that.
Yeah.
And people started to put really masking tapes on their windows, thinking that the bombs were going to be dropping here, and we have a chemical attack. During this big crisis, when people are leaving the country, many big multinational closed down or they took their stuff out, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid announced 3 or 4 major projects. Part of them, the golf, the Creek Golf Club, and a couple of other projects. And people say, people are leaving. Why are you building a golf club? But he saw what other people didn't see.
Yeah.
And this is that leadership that have, we can say, inside the story, or they have bigger vision on the area. So
this is what I think, just in the 2 years that I got to know you, being in the market and kind of putting it all together, is that opportunity is everywhere in Dubai.
Right.
Like, really, and I hate to say this, but I feel like if you come to Dubai and you fail as an entrepreneur, it's because you just didn't put in the work. This is what I believe. Because there's just so much here. But you have to have 3 things. You have to be resilient, you have to be resourceful, and you have to be forward thinking. And I think that that's really the story of Dubai.
Right.
We see the glitz and the glamour and the Burj Al Arab and the Burj Khalifa, and we see that. But the evolution of that is that they were resilient, resourceful, and always forward thinking. To me, that's what over the 2 years, my journey has led me to say, okay, this is what Dubai really is outside of the glitz and glamour. That's what's underneath it. It's that hard work and kind of that people don't see.
Right. You see, many people say, I want to be an entrepreneur. And many people want to say, I want to start a business. Right, that's great. But you have to have resources, and you have to have ideas, and you have to understand your environment. An entrepreneur does not need to be just to be entrepreneur that you are your own. Entrepreneur can be within your own organization.
Yeah.
So if I were working in a department and I feel that this department can progress, so that initiative is also considered, in my personal opinion, as an entrepreneur, an initiative that you are taking that step. What we are lacking here is that a lot of people come here, but they don't want to make a mistake, and they're afraid of making a mistake. Yet they want to be an entrepreneur. You ask them personally, do you really want to be this? Yes, I want to sit in that chair. I want to be the boss. I want to do that. But they are afraid for their day-to-day job so much that they don't want to make any mistake.
Yeah.
So they're going by the book. And going by the book is not necessarily
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a great quote: "Don't break the rules, don't break the law."
Exactly, exactly. And people can excel in every department. And somehow this is where, in my opinion, that like you kept on. I mean, I was when I met you before, I said, what the...
I remember you were like, why is this American guy coming all the way to Dubai to start a marketing company? What is he thinking?
Exactly,
I remember.
But you kept on. You have a vision. You kept on doing things. You kept on, finding this work, this doesn't work. But you are determined. Your determination is going to lead you. Not necessarily just, okay, I need to have this opportunity and it's going to work from the first time. No, it's not going to work first time.
Yeah.
So it takes...
This is why I think, I feel like I found my home.
Right.
Like, I'm 37 years old. I've traveled around the world. I've done business in US, Europe, but for some reason Dubai just gravitates to me. I think now that I've learned the story, it's because the energy of Dubai is that it's the resourceful, resilient, forward thinking, and if you have this, you can make it.
Exactly.
And I feel like they've created an environment that if you're this type of person, you will make it here.
Right. See, you mentioned earlier, like we are talking about this artificial intelligence, and that's what we made the ministry of it. But before that, Dubai have built all the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Look at it. Where in the world you're going to find a city like this?
No.
Where in the world you're going to get peace and you get security and you're protected and whatever you do. This is the environment, and to create that kind of
I've told this to people in America that I feel safer in Dubai than I do in America, and they're like, no, and I'm like, no, like you could go to sleep with your door open and you don't have to worry about anyone coming to steal anything. Like you can't be in Dubai if you don't have a job.
Exactly.
So it eliminates a whole, and I don't want to sound the wrong way, but a certain standard of living that can exist in other countries just won't survive here. You cannot exist here.
If you are serious about a business and you are serious about a certain way of life, this is the way. Of course, it's tough because nobody gonna
hand it to you.
Something like you mentioned to me earlier, this is better to pay the rent per month rather than per year. Yes, certain things have to change, and the market will force on those conditions to get better. But to have such an infrastructure, and to have communication infrastructure and the ability to travel, to go anywhere in the world. From Dubai you can go almost anywhere, direct flight.
9 hours, you're pretty much anywhere in the world.
Exactly. So from how many cities in US you need to go to 3 hours or 4 hours someplace to go to get a direct flight to somewhere, another destination. So it's a perfect environment. The world have changed. The world has become smaller in sense of reaching people, but it became bigger as a market. So I'm sitting in Dubai or in somewhere, I have the whole region's market to me. It's no more Dubai. Dubai is just an infrastructure. This is where you locate your company, where you put your ideas, where you protect yourself. But look at the markets around the world. Don't think the idea that I put the idea and I'm going to sell it to Dubai. Dubai doesn't have that much population. But you need to sell all around.
This is exactly what I think we talked about in my office when we met the other day, was that I bring a lot of brands to start marketing here.
Right.
And their only strategy is to just market in English in Dubai. Right. And I always explain, like, well, then why do you even need to be here? Exactly. Like, you don't need to be here to market in English to Dubai, but you should have Arabic. And as
Persian and Indian, and
there's so many languages. You literally could market in every language in the world from this destination and travel to those destinations for meetings if you need to within 7 to 9 hours. So it really is kind of a global city that's strategically positioned, and with the world of digital, specifically for me, it's one of the reasons why I picked it, because as a digital marketing company, I saw it with 2020 coming, that I had a 2-year run to build up my name prior to that. And then the biggest brands in the world are going to be here, and I'm going to have access to them. That's why I picked Dubai.
Perfect.
Is I saw, okay, in America, I'm never going to meet with an Adidas or a Nike, but in Dubai, I can. I can meet with a Facebook, a Google, because their office is here. And if I'm a big enough player here, I get access to them. That's why, that was one of the main reasons I picked Dubai. That in London is way too cold.
Exactly. Dubai, like, of course, we are still developing as infrastructure. We need, I think, in the future, we should also, we reached a good point, but we need more financial kind of help for the beginning companies, or easy kind of financial loans and easy restrictions. The government have done a great job. They have created this Ittihad Credit Bureau. They created some facilities where you know how to do a business without really investing much money on trust, and how to manage your receivables and things like that. But we need to really work, in my personal opinion, on our banking sector. Dubai is trying to be the hub for Islamic banking. But it's not just to make the offices here, but we should really mean, when we talk about Islamic banking, that we provide that partnership, that Islamic finance.
And what is the difference between Islamic banking and normal banking?
Yeah, it's a very simple thing. In Islam, you don't have the interest. You cannot charge somebody interest. So you must be partner with him. You with the money and he with the hard work. Now, of course, the bank make it very easier. They don't want to partner with you. They always put the blame on you. In Islamic banking, there is partnership is happening, but it's not happening in everything. It's happening maybe on real estate, on certain projects, but it is not, the loans are not being given to every, like
someone
smaller,
like me. They're not going to say, okay,
smaller.
You have a digital marketing company.
Not?
We don't understand this.
This have to come more, because the money need to be circulated. If the money is not circulated, then you are out of. We have certain banks, and I don't want to name them, but I really don't like them. I wish I could go to their board of directors and yell at them, and they will give money to one individual company for 150 million and 200 million, and that company is going to go down. While whether a citizen or a good standing person, a businessman, is trying to do a business, he cannot get that loan, and he have 20 million conditions that he never gonna fulfill it. But yet they are losing big amount to those the big marketing companies that they really don't have a product, yet they have taken $200-300 million from one single bank. So that kind of things need to be stopped. people in the world are believing, like all the, if we look at Bangladesh, there is this bank run by one famous guy, I don't remember his name, but he gives loan to ladies. And these ladies, they take the loan and they build something and they return back the money. And it is on individual basis we have to make the change. Whether this change have to be done on local level in the beginning and then to everybody, but whatever it need to be done, the banks or the financial institution must relax and must make or must come up with a mechanism where they encourage these businesses. And this is the real challenge, which I think is required for the economy to really take a boost. Money sitting in the bank is
investment
no
in small to
you
medium
have to
businesses.
Use it into the economy.
It's investment into small and medium businesses
exactly,
instead of just the big multinationals.
Exactly, they're just giving large sum, and then in the end, the multinational is a limited liability company. They're not gonna pay you ever. But this individual man, he is there. He will pay you because it is his name, his life, so they have to think, or the institution have think of more of those people than the big institution, in my opinion.
Awesome. So I think this is a great episode. Is there anything else you want to add?
No,
I think we can close it.
I wish you the best of luck, and I wish you are doing great, and I
Thank
wish
you
all the success will you.
Awesome.
And keep on, and things will work out.
Awesome. I appreciate you being on so much. Thank you so much.